Hey ladies, so this video is going to be a little different today. So let's just say that you're a new girl coming into YouTube and you stop upon this channel that it just caught your eye and it happens to be a nail video. And you're like, wow, I want to learn how to do that. Like, what is it that I need so that I'm just as good? Like, what do I need to start? You know, a good friend of mine texted me and said, hey, Joe, I want to start learning how to do nails, acrylic nails. What do I need? So I decided to make this video. All right, let's make this pretty quick because I don't want to get too boring. Hopefully, I can help some of you girls. So what are you going to need? First of all, you're going to need powder. Okay? You're going to need powder. It doesn't matter what brand. You're going to need powder, preferably crystal. What you're going to need with that, you're going to need the liquid to go with it. Without the liquid, the powder is not going to work. It's not going to activate it. You cannot use water because it will get wet. Of course, it's going to get wet, but what's going to happen is it's going to dry off and it's going to crack. You cannot, it will not stick to your nail. So you're going to need acrylic powder and the monomer, nail liquid to go with it. Doesn't matter what brand you use. It's always good, preferably to use the same brand, but once in a while I might switch and mix one powder with the other, and it really doesn't cause anything, doesn't really do anything bad. But sometimes with different product, it might cause yellowing to your application, and it's gonna make your nails not look so pretty. So these are the basic things you're gonna need: powder and liquid. Right? What's the next thing you're gonna need? You're gonna need a dehydrator. You're gonna need a dehydrator. Why? Because your natural nail, you have oil coming out of your natural nail. So if there's oil, it's going to lift. It's not going to stick. It's going to lift. Then you're going to need a primer. What's a primer for? Acrylic does not stick to your natural nail. It will stick to the tip. It will stick to plastic, but not your natural nail. So if you don't use the primer, you're going to get lifting within that same night. So you don't want to spend 2 or 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours doing your own nail, make it look pretty, and then it will pop off within the next day. I know I'll be hella mad. So this is what you're going to need. So when you start off doing your nails, you're going to have to, first of all, wipe your hands, clean your hands, use hand sanitizer, right? Hand sanitizer, warm water with soap. It's always good. Doesn't matter what hand sanitizer brand you use, but it's always good to keep your hands clean, sanitized. All right. Then you're gonna use a nail file. You need a nail file. You're gonna always need a nail filer. Always gonna need. Why? Because you're gonna have to remove the shine off your nail. Once you stick your nail, you're gonna prime it, right? But before you do that, you're gonna have to file the tip to the nail so that you can try at least blending your tip to the nail so that you won't get that harsh tip line, right? Then you're going to use a dehydrator, then your primer, and then you're going to do the application, right? But before you do that, you need a cuticle pusher. You need to remove all your cuticles from the nail and whatever dead skin you have on your nail. You can use a scraper to scrape it off, but always don't harm your nail. Don't harm your cuticles. So these are things that makes your finger looks healthy. You know, you can use where are you? Okay, I use cuticle softener, but I stopped using it. Why? Because this has oil. Even if you wash your hands, so you could just dryly, smoothly, softly just push it back. It's a scraper. You're going to need that. So once you've done your application and you've filed your nail, you filed the edges, you've filed off good, you're going to need a buffer. What's the buffer for? Because the nail's going to leave scratch marks on your nails. So this will buff it away and smooth out your application, right? Now, once you get good and you know what you're doing, right? I use my machine. I use my Mani Pro. I love my Mani Pro. It's an e-filer, all right? I use a carbide. I use different type of carbides. You know, I have the standing bit. I have used different type of carbide. You know, I used with the round so you can get close to your cuticle without having to cut yourself, right? And these are called the small one, small fine. This is already from my last application, so I have to clean that. Always clean your tools. Always clean your tools. I use 100% alcohol. So I keep it in the bottle and I will spray it, or I dip it in the little one of these little glass lapping dish, and just leave it soaking in there. You're gonna use it, so please be careful when using this, especially if you just started, because it's gonna hurt if you cut yourself really bad. You're gonna hurt yourself really bad. All right, because I've cut myself. Even now, after I'm still good and know what I'm doing, I still don't know what I'm doing because I'm still learning. Every day is a learning process, but I still cut myself. All right, so you don't have to go in and just like, yeah, you don't have to do all that. You go so soft, So now the way you use, if you're righty, you will go from right to left. This has a reverse button, so if you're left, you're gonna go from left to right. That's how you would do it, left to right, left, like that. All right. And always be careful. You would have to press your pinky. This is what's gonna give you your support. This pinky right here, because if you go on by itself, you have no your hands are just gonna go all over. So you need a pinky to stabilize your wrist. So you will press down on it and let it maneuver. Let the pinky and the hand be your stabilizer. Okay, you're gonna go in like this. Sometimes I might go in like, because I kind of figure out how to use it, but I won't suggest you doing this if you're started, because your hands are just gonna go crazy and you're gonna go around, and that can hurt you. You could cut yourself. So you slowly go, slowly like that. And what else? You're gonna need one of these if you don't have one of these, to remove all the debris. Or if you don't have this, you can get the little brush, which they cost, $2 for $1 if you go to the 99-cent store. They have this. Is always good to have, right? So now I like to use flat brushes. All right, but when I first started, I started off with an oval size 8 brush. A size 8 brush, which is what everybody will use when they're learning. A size 8 brush. So this is what I use. A size 8. This is what I use. It's a Kolinsky brush. And it's always good to use a Kolinsky brush. A size 8 if you're starting, right? A Kolinsky, 100% Kolinsky is one of the best brushes that you can use for acrylic applications, because it's real hair, first of all, and it's soft, and it will help you give you a good application. All right, once you've learned what to do, upgrade yourself to a bigger grade. This is a size 12, not a bigger grade, a larger size. This is a size 12 brush. This is the one I've been using. I like to flatten it out. I flatten my brush. This is the one that I've been using lately. I don't have a store for this because I didn't purchase this. It was given to me by a good friend that owns a salon. So I don't have a store as to where to purchase this online. It's a size 12 brush, Kolinsky brushes. This is the typical brush that you will go to a salon and they would use. I love it. Why? Because you can get close to your cuticle without going on top of it. So that's why I like flattening my brushes. When I clean my brushes, it's clean. But once I start using it, I flatten it out. I will flatten my brush because I like flat brushes. But this is good, And when you start using a flat brush, you'll realize that your time will get cut in half, because you can pick up a bigger ball and less padding. A bigger ball and less padding, faster applications. When you use the size 8, you realize, it is smaller. So you're going to have to put more padding into it. So they're both Kolinsky brushes. And if you clean your brushes and keep it clean, you would have your brush for a while. I have this brush for like 8 months and it's still going. And this brush was used at the salon. So I can imagine she probably had this for like a year before she gave it to me. So keep your brushes clean. I use a cleaner. I use a brush cleaner, but a lot of ladies use acetone to clean the brushes. I've used it a couple of times and I haven't done any harm to it. Alright, I've used acetone before. Alright, and once you've done your application, it's always good to hydrate your nail. Cuticle oil, that's where cuticle oils come in. To hydrate your nail. If you don't have cuticle oil, you know what? Go into your kitchen cabinet. I'm pretty sure you have like coconut oil or almond oil or even extra virgin olive oil. And that's what I have, and I use it once in a while. It smells delicious. Make me want to suck my thumb, but it's good. You just rub it and it has vitamins and it keeps your cuticle nice and it replenishes your cuticle. I use it sometimes 4 times a day, depending on how often my hands is in the water, which is often because I have 4 kids at home. So I hydrate my nails and I use cuticle oil, and it makes your nail looks healthier. One thing you're always gonna need when you're doing an acrylic application, tips. Tips. You're gonna need tips. A nail cutter. And if you don't have that, you could use a nail clip and cut it from one side to the other, and that's it. I hope I was able to explain myself. I hope I wasn't too boring. And thank you, ladies, for watching. So, later.